Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be chatting about all things new in beauty. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts as I do every single month on some new beauty launches that are coming out, letting you know whether or not they're things I'm going to be putting on my wish list or if I'm planning on passing them over. And I'm also going to wrap in like a little mini haul because I did just receive some PR in the last like 3 or 4 days. So while we're talking about new beauty launches, I'll show you what's new that I've actually already been sent and have on hand to test out. So if you're actually curious about any of these products, you can leave a comment, let me know, so that way I can prioritize getting my feedback back to you guys. Also, just in case you're curious about my makeup today, the eyeshadow that I'm wearing, I did film this look. It is part of my 3 Looks 1 palette that I'm going to be doing for the Nabla Secret palette. So I think that video is going to be coming your way either the end of this week or early next week, so stay tuned for that. And with all that being said, we've got so much to talk about today, so let's hop into it. So why don't we start out with the PR stuff? There's not like a whole bunch of it, so we'll try to go through it fairly quickly. The first thing that I received is the new Too Faced Damn Girl Mascara. This was like totally unexpected. I don't really get PR from Too Faced very often. They send me like one-off packages a couple times a year, so I had no idea this was coming. And it's funny because when I saw it launching, I wasn't really sure that I was gonna pick it up because I have so many mascaras on hand. I don't frequently go out and buy new ones, but since I have this guy, I decided I was going to give it a try. If you want to see what this looks like without falsies on, I'm wearing it today, but I'm also wearing falsies, so you can't really see what the mascara looks like on. I did share it on my Instagram stories. Maybe I'll try to like put them in a highlight so it's easier for you guys to find. But yeah, I posted those yesterday because I was wearing this for the first time. So if you want to see what it looks like, you can check it out there. Packaging is super cool on this. It's really pretty and reflective, but it's also a giant fingerprint magnet, which drives me mildly insane. And then Derma also sent over all 5 shades of their new Tinted Moisturizing BB Cream with SPF 30. I also wore this yesterday, so it's in the exact same Insta stories that I talked about with the mascara. So if you want to see what this looks like on, you can see it there as well. On a related side note, I did an Instagram live for the first time yesterday. I'm thinking I might do like a live getting ready with me every weekend. If that's something you guys would like to see, like just come hang out with me live while I put on makeup on the weekends, leave a comment and let me know. I'm also trying to figure out like what time would be best to do it. I live on the East Coast of the US, so just for comparison purposes, let me know like what time zone you're in, if you're suggesting a time, if mornings, afternoons be better, etc. But anyway, back to the BB creams. This is oil-free. It's very lightweight coverage. It feels almost more like a sunscreen or a tinted moisturizer on the skin. It has all mineral SPF in it, so definitely is pretty cool. Y'all know I'm really into Derma, so I'm excited that they're expanding their collection into something that's a little bit more makeup-like. It's kind of a hybrid makeup skincare type product, so I think that's pretty neat. Also, I did swatch all 5 of these shades in an Instagram post, so if you want to see what all the colors look like of all 5 of these, I can link that post for you guys in the description box as well. Speaking of sunscreen, Bare Republic just also sent me over a couple of things. I really love their sunscreens a lot. Again, pretty much all of what they do is mineral. They may do some chemical sunscreens now as well, but I really fell in love with them because they were one of the first like drugstore sunscreens I could find that offered like a mineral alternative, especially for face and body. So this is their new mineral whipped mousse sunscreen with SPF 30. Really excited to try this and see how the consistency differs from their original sunscreen spray. I used that one like all the time last summer, and I think I still have a little bit left. So this with the texture whipped mousse, I think it's supposed to absorb into the skin a little bit more easily. It's the one downside to mineral sunscreen. If you've ever used them before, they can be a little bit chalky because of the minerals that are in them. So maybe this will go on a little bit more clear, be a little less kind of dry feeling on the skin. I'll keep you guys posted. And then they also sent over their tinted face sunscreen, which I have used before, but this says new sheer finish. So again, really curious to see how this compares to the one that I have. I really like the original. It's very moussey, almost like a primer. It wears really nicely under makeup. So if you're looking for like a really good face SPF to wear every day that's not going to be like too chalky or too greasy. That one's pretty bomb. And then this last PR thing literally just showed up on my doorstep like half an hour ago, and I am super stoked about it because I probably would have bought these at some point because y'all know I love this brand so much. I talk about them all the time. But Persona Cosmetics sent me over their newest lip launches for summer. So they released one new shade of their matte liquid lipsticks. So the existing line has 3. This new shade is called Phoenix, and it's supposed to be like a really hot kind of orangey red color. Let me grab Holy Grail for you guys, which was their original red lipstick, so we can swatch them side by side and see the difference. So this is Holy Grail, which was their original red lipstick, and it is honestly like my Holy Grail red liquid lip. It is super long wearing and budge proof, but it's really comfortable. This stuff, I like don't have any idea what kind of sorcery is in the formula, but it's one of the best liquid lipsticks I've ever tried. And then this is the new shade Phoenix. So let's swatch that. All right, so those are what the 2 shades look like. Swatched Phoenix is on top and Holy Grail is on the bottom. So you can see they're pretty similar, but Phoenix definitely is a little bit sort of brighter, a little more summery. And I personally am a super huge fan of bright reds, orangey reds for summertime, so this is definitely a shade I will wear. And then in this package here, we have 2 new shades of their lip glosses for summer, which are also super beautiful. So there is a coral shade. This is like seriously right up my alley. So here's the coral shade. Ooh, yeah, that looks yummy. And then this is a pink shade, which is a little bit more sort of mauvey cool toned, kind of like a mauvey, almost veering on bubblegum kind of pink. That's nice too. And just so you guys can see, this is the peach shade from the existing collection. So this is one that I already had. So we'll just swatch peach here. So it's definitely a lot more muted than the coral. So we've got peach, pink, and then the coral with the glosses. So all 3 of these lip shades are currently available on the Persona Cosmetics website, and then they're going to be coming to Ulta stores on June 23rd. So if you're interested in picking these up using your Ulta points, they'll be here in just a few more weeks. So thank you so much to Persona Cosmetics and to all of these brands for sending me over these products to test out. Really excited to use them more. I will definitely keep you guys updated with my thoughts. And again, definitely make sure if you're not following me on Instagram and you use Instagram, I try to post on my stories, post updates on my feed there as well. So it's a good place to stay in touch and hear more about my thoughts as I'm testing things out. All right, so now that you've seen all the new launches that I actually already have, let's chat a little bit about some other things that are on the horizon and whether or not I plan on adding them to my collection. So why don't we kick things off with the most juicy and controversial new product launch of all. I feel like it would be more appropriate if I was drinking iced tea right now, but alas, I have an iced caramel latte from Dunkin' Donuts, so this will have to do. So Jaclyn Hill finally launched her makeup brand. She has been talking about this for, I don't know, the last 2.5, almost 3 years now. And she revealed that the first product of her new brand is lipstick. It's a cream finish lipstick and all of the shades are in the nude family. She wanted every person, regardless of their skin tone, to find their perfect nude, which honestly I think is a really great idea in today's day and age when we all should be a little bit more aware of things like inclusivity. The word nude so often conjures up a certain image in people's brains because we've been a little bit conditioned to think of nude as what a white person would think of as a nude. But obviously there are many, many different shades of nude depending on what your ethnicity is. So I think it's really cool that someone developed a makeup line thinking about the idea of nude lipstick and offering a nude for the palest of pale to the deepest of deep skin tones. Now, you guys are probably sick of hearing me say this, but I'm on a no-buy. So when these lipsticks launched on May 30th, I knew I wasn't going to buy them because I'm not planning on making any beauty purchases since my last Nabla haul on May 23rd through the end of June, and then I'm gonna try to go on a low buy for the rest of the summer. And I knew, like, given how popular Jaclyn Hill is, that everyone and their mother was going to be reviewing these lipsticks, so I figured, like, rather than inundate you guys with yet another review, I was like, it's fine, I'm just gonna sit back, see what people have to say. If her, brand is gonna be around for a while, I will have plenty of time in the future to buy one of her lipsticks if I want to. and oh boy. I am so glad that I did not buy one of those lipsticks because it has been nothing but just a nightmare since her launch. So first of all, there was like all these issues with checkout and with shipping that happened. I mean, it's funny, you would think in today's day and age, so many online brands have had their websites crash due to high traffic that Jaclyn Hill would anticipate how trafficked her website would be on the first day of sale of her first product ever. Like, so many people tried to check out, they waited in line for like 20 minutes, things were being removed from people's shopping carts because they were selling out at like 9:03 when they went on sale at 9 o'clock. So I don't know, the whole thing seemed really stressful. I'm totally fine with the fact that I got to skip out on all of that. But that was like a very minor issue compared to the quality control issues that have been surfacing since people have actually been receiving their lipsticks. Twitter has been exploding with pictures of people finding like little gritty particles in their lipsticks, finding fibers and hairs on their lipsticks. Their lipsticks are arriving damaged, they're melted, etc. So it's very clear that there are some issues with production of these lipsticks. There are also some people that think that they've actually been sitting on a warehouse shelf for the last 2 years and that they were actually manufactured back in 2017 when Jaclyn first announced that her brand was going to be launching, and then she decided to like pull back and wait because of things going on in her personal life. So I have no idea what's going on. There are plenty of conspiracy theories out there. You could spend all day watching various videos on YouTube all about it. And all I can say is that I am so glad I just avoided the whole thing by not purchasing the lipsticks, by not being tempted to buy them. I don't know if I will ever buy anything from Jaclyn Cosmetics in the future. We'll see how she handles all of the drama that's been going on in the last couple of weeks. So far, it seems like she is handling things in such a way that is trying to cover up some obvious concerning issues as opposed to owning up to them and trying to actually address or fix whatever is going on in the lab. But for a lipstick that costs $18 and for a brand that is theoretically taken so long to develop, I just kind of feel like there's no excuse for things to be going off the way that they are. On a more positive note, Juvia's Place is finally launching a range of complexion products, which I am so excited about. They deliver consistently such excellent quality in their eyeshadows, so like I definitely have high hopes for their foundation, concealer, and powder. As I would expect from Juvia's Place, the price point on all of these products is excellent. It's very reasonable. The shade range is amazing. I mean, Juvia's Place, of course, is one of the more inclusive brands on the market, so they are catering to people of the fairest of fair skin tones to the darkest of dark. Also, I was really happy to see that with their foundation range especially, the lowest number shades, so the first ones in the range, are the darkest, and then the highest number shades are the lightest, which is just kind of like a flip-flop of what we are so often seeing. Usually the first shades we see when we look at a foundation are always the light ones. So I think that's great that they decided to showcase the darkest shades first, and they truly did create a very even, really nice range with their foundations. There are 42 different shades, and it looks like they have a really nice even gradient. There are not too many dark shades, too many light shades. There's just like a little bit of something for everyone. So the I Am Magic foundation retails for $20. Again, such an affordable price point, and it's supposed to have a velvety matte finish, which of course sounds right up my alley. I have super oily skin, so I tend to gravitate towards more matte finish foundations. This one is supposed to be long wearing, and the reviews that I've seen of it have been pretty favorable so far, so I'm definitely interested in trying this. It is available at Ulta now, which is awesome. So I'm thinking the next time I do a haul with my Ulta points, that is something I would like to pick up. So in addition to the foundation, they also released the I Am Magic concealer for $14. This comes in 24 different shades, and they also have a chart on their website that shows you, depending on which foundation shade you pick, which concealers would best match, or maybe it goes the other way around. But either way, I appreciate that they took the time to show you, if you know what your foundation shade is, which concealers would match you best. And then they also released the I Am Magic setting powder for $12. That comes in 5 shades, so you have a nice complete range to do your whole base, which I think is awesome. Now when it comes to the concealer and the powder, neither of those are available at Ulta right now. I have no idea if Juvia's Place intends on selling them in Ulta in the future, and I couldn't find any information on the number of ounces of either of those products, so I have no idea how much powder or how much concealer you're getting for your money. So like, yes, the price points are lower, but I don't know if it's containing less product than what is standard. Either way, I am curious about them, but I think I'm more likely to pass on picking up the concealer and the powder for now, just because I have so many of them on hand. I'm feeling a little overloaded with powder, especially I'm trying to finish up a couple as well as a few concealers. So these are things like I would be interested in trying, but I might wait until later in the year to do so. Next up, we've got a new round of Pixi Pretty's collaboration products. So Pixi Beauty does these collabs every single year. They pick a few influencers to work with, and then those influencers go ahead and create a product that they feel is representative of their vibe. It's something to add to the collection. And I know Pixi has done this, I think, for the last 3 years. And I was so excited to see that Rach Loves is one of the influencers that they're collabing with this year. I love Rachel so freaking much. I've been watching her channel for so many years. I feel like we are like YouTube soulmates. Like we should be friends in real life if we ever had the chance to meet each other. I feel like we would get along very well because I feel like our personalities are very similar. Like Rachel is kind of quirky and super down to earth and upbeat, but also like struggles with anxiety and things like that. And I feel like, man, I'm right there with you, girl. So yeah, I'm really proud of Rachel for this. It's the first time she's ever collabing with a brand, and I feel like Pixi is perfect for her, with her aesthetic, with her vibe, so I'm so happy that she is working with them. And the product that she created for this collab was a highlighting palette. It looks super pretty, but I don't know, something about the shades, I'm not sure that it speaks to me personally, but I feel like it's something that will work for a lot of people and that a lot of people will be into. So in addition to the product that Rachel created, Chloe Morello developed a few more shades of their lip icing. I think the lip icing debuted either last year or the year before during one of their Pixi Pretty's collabs. Then there's an eyeshadow palette from Heart Defender, or her Instagram handle is That's Heart. I'm not really familiar with this particular person, but the eyeshadow palette she created looks absolutely beautiful. It's very warm toned with some kind of like pink berry-ish shades thrown in there, some really beautiful foiled metallics. Looks super stunning. Then Jen Che, I believe, her handle is From Head to Toe. She made these, like, I think they're kind of glowy powders. I'm not really sure what her collab products are. It was hard to see in the Instagram posts. There was some kind of stick product. I don't know if it's an eyeshadow stick or a contouring stick. And then 2 face powders that looked very sort of radiant, glowy. And then finally, Miriam, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. Is it Maquillage? I don't really know. She's Miriam NYC, I think, on Instagram, but she created these little duos that actually have 2 of my favorite products from Pixi, the Liquid Fairy Lights and their matte liquid lipsticks. So like each little duo has a lipstick and a glitter in it, and they're kind of in coordinating shades. One has like a really cool dark, almost like charcoal glitter, I think in a nude lip, and then I think the other glitter is more of like a neutral shade, but either way, I have a feeling those are going to be super popular. So yeah, the entire Pixi Pretty's collab actually drops tomorrow, June 11th. So that's super exciting. Congrats to all of the girls who are working with Pixi. I wish you all the most success with the launch. I personally, well, I mean, aside from the fact that I'm on a no-buy and I'm not actually going to go and buy any of these right now, I would wait anyway, just because I am on Pixi's PR list, and every year for the last couple of years, I have received a PR package that has had the entire Pixi Pretty's collab in it. And if they don't send it out in PR, or I don't receive the PR box, I'm not sure what I would want to get. I mean, I would love to support Rachel, but again, I'm not really sure if her highlighting palette is 100% my speed. I think the eyeshadow palette and then the Liquid Fairy Lights and liquid lipstick duos are probably the most enticing to me. So we'll see. Either way, let me know if I do receive that PR package, if you guys would like to see me use it in a video. So this next collection is seriously testing me right now. I know the only reason that I'm even considering buying anything from it is because of the packaging. The packaging is so me it hurts. So this is the new MAC Electric Wonder collection. If you haven't seen what this looks like yet, it's basically like a pink and white marble packaging with like a gold metallic kind of marbling through it. Oh my god, it looks so pretty. Like, I just want to take that pattern and I want to like create it into a laptop case or a phone case. Like, it's just something that I want elsewhere in my life and not just in my makeup, because it is 100% my kind of aesthetic. Now, when it comes to the actual like products themselves, there's honestly nothing that's like super special to me. They have two eyeshadow palettes, both of which have kind of blah, sort of neutral colors in them. I think for a lot of people that just want like very basic things to wear on the everyday that don't like a lot of color, they might be enticing. But to someone like me that has a pretty big makeup collection, I feel like they're the kinds of shades I have multiple times over. Then they released two bronzers, two highlighting powders, a face palette that's all kind of blush topper highlighter type products, and then a couple of shades of bullet lipsticks and a few lip glosses. So I know that I should probably resist buying anything from this collection, because if I don't need the actual product, if I wouldn't have gone out and purchased any of these things if they were in different packaging, like that should be the reason I say no. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't super tempted, because they're just so pretty, and I love taking pictures of makeup. I love flat lays, and they're like 100% the kind of thing that I'm just like, I want to put you in a picture so bad. So I think if I was going to get anything, it would probably be one of the bronzers, because of everything in my makeup collection, I actually don't have a ton of bronzers. I have like 20-something blushes, 20-something highlights, a gajillion lipsticks, and like a ton of eyeshadow palettes. So there is nothing else in this collection I could even mildly justify buying. I have, I think, 7 bronzers in my collection, which is still way more than I need, but like, if I added one more, I wouldn't feel horribly guilty about it. But either way, I still kind of feel like, oh, Lauren, why are you doing this? It's 100% because of the packaging. All right, so moving on. Kaja released new shades of this guy. This is the Bouncy Bento eyeshadow trio. I have one of the original ones. This is in the shade Orange Blossom, and I've talked about it on my channel a bunch before. I love these little things. I think they are awesome. And the original stacks have 3 kind of like coordinating shimmery eyeshadow shades that make the most beautiful toppers. So when I first got this, I feel like I used it all the time for just like an everyday makeup look. You can just throw a little bit of your bronzer into your crease, or just like a matte brown eyeshadow, and then pop one of these guys all over the lid, and it makes it look like you created this beautiful glam look that took so much time, and literally it takes 15 seconds. So the new shades of these actually contain 2 matte shadows and a shimmer, which I think is really nice, because the only downside to this is that it's really more of an accent stack than something you could use all on its own, unless you like the look of a completely shimmery eye. So the new stacks allow you to like essentially create a full look in a sense with all 3 eyeshadows that are in it. So if you were someone that just wanted like a really minimal kind of makeup selection, you're not really into big palettes, this might be something that would be perfect for you. Each one retails for $21, which is not like a great price. It's a little bit up there, but it's certainly better than like the eyeshadows that are of a similar price where you're only getting 1 shade. And as far as whether or not I'm gonna buy any of them, I definitely would like to, but I don't think that I will anytime soon, because again, I just have a lot on hand. I really should be using this guy up more since I already have it. But all of the color stories of the new shade varieties that they launched look so pretty. They're really fun for summer. They have one that's like pink, purple, neon. They have another one that's kind of more chocolatey. Again, they have one that's kind of more orangey toned like this, but with the mattes. So I would totally be happy to use any of them. I think they're all beautiful. I'm just trying to resist a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be picking up any of them anytime soon. Speaking of expensive eyeshadow singles, Ciate London released something that's very akin to the Hourglass Scattered Light shadows or the Marc Jacobs Sequin shadows. It's one of those kind of little eyeshadow pressed pigment type metallic pots that has like a really glittery finish. They called them their Marbled Metals eyeshadows. They retail for $24. I think there's 5 or 6 shades available. And I saw Mel Thompson do a video on these. She swatched all the shades. She did a couple of looks with them, and oh man, beautiful. I mean, these look super, super stunning. In particular, the two shades that I think caught my attention most were the green and the dark purple. I think it was Wicked was one of them. And I'm not sure what the other one was, but they looked super unique and super beautiful. Like the green especially, if I was going to buy one of these, I think I'd get the green one just because it is such a different shade. I don't have anything quite like it in my collection. But at the same time, then I have to ask myself, Lauren, is it worth it to spend $24 on a product that you're probably only going to wear a handful of times? So I don't know. I'm probably going to resist. I'm probably going to hold off on buying these for a while. I mean, obviously, as I mentioned before, I'm holding off on buying anything for the rest of this month, but my birthday is coming up in July, so I may purchase one or two things. I already had my Nabla haul, so that was kind of like my big birthday present to myself. So as much as this is something I would consider buying, it's already on my Sephora loves list. I don't think I'm going to get it right now just because I feel like it is a lot to spend on just one single shade. Now, it wouldn't be a new beauty launches video if we didn't mention ColourPop at least once. Every month I sit down and do these videos. They always have something new coming out. So this time it's blush and highlight sticks. It's funny because you have to think to yourself, like, has ColourPop not done it all yet? And it was like, no, I guess they didn't have cream blushes or highlights, and I'm wondering if they will release cream contour sticks next. I would not be surprised if that's coming down the road. Anyway, so their blush and light sticks retail for $8 a piece, or you can buy them in duos or trios. And I would definitely recommend, if you haven't seen it already, Kathleen Light's video on these. She swatched a bunch of them, she reviewed them, so if you want to learn more about them and see what they look like, I would check out her video. But from what I've seen and from some other reviews I've watched, it looks like the blush sticks are really beautiful, creamy, they give a nice natural flush to the cheeks, but the highlight sticks are a little bit more glittery. So I think if I was to get any of these, I would get a blush stick and not a highlight stick. Not to mention the fact that I just don't use cream highlights all that much. I'm definitely not gonna like go and place a ColourPop order just to get these. It's not something that's calling to me that much, but like let's say they were having a sale and I was placing an order for other stuff anyway, it is something I would consider trying. And then to wrap this video up, we're gonna do a little eyeshadow palette bonanza because there's a ton of new eyeshadow palettes that have either launched recently or are about to launch. So I'm gonna try to like speed round through these guys and let you know what I think of them. First up, we have the new Huda Beauty Neon's Obsessions palettes. These retail for $29 a piece. That's $2 more than the existing Obsessions palettes, probably because the packaging got a little upgrade. It's plastic instead of cardboard. The color stories in these look super fun, very vibrant and bright, but I'm definitely going to pass on them. The only one that really intrigued me when I initially saw them was the green one, just because I don't have a ton of green eyeshadows and there are some really cool duochrome shades in there. But from all the reviews that I've seen, that seems to be the one with the weakest performance. The greens in there actually barely show up on the skin, so I feel like it would be a total waste to buy them when the only shades that I really want are the ones that don't work very well. Next up, we have the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. This guy retails for $65, which for Natasha Denona is actually pretty reasonable. This is a 15-pan palette. It's kind of seen as like a companion or sister palette to the Sunset palette, but Natasha Denona made this guy a little bit smaller. There's less product in there, so she also was able to bring the price point down and actually make it somewhat more like affordable for more people. I mean, let's put it this way, $65 is not by any means affordable. But when her other 15-pan palettes were $125 or $149, somewhere between $125 and $150, like that for me is going to always be out of my budget. Like I cannot stomach the idea of spending triple digits on an eyeshadow palette. Not to mention the fact that I never pan eyeshadows, so I would never really get the benefit of having more product for that higher price tag. So I'm glad that she went this route. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think the color story in the Sunrise palette is beautiful. I love those warm tones and the purple accents, but I'm definitely not gonna buy it because I just got this guy as an add-on in my FabFitFun box. This is the Ciate Astrolights palette. I actually had been eyeing this for a long time, and then when I saw it as an option to add on for like $14 to my FabFitFun box, I was like, yes please. So this is what the palette looks like, and as you can see, there's a lot of shade kind of similarity in this palette to the Sunrise palette. You have the same kind of berry tones and then the shimmery kind of iridescent purples, which honestly is probably the thing that intrigued me most about the Sunrise palette. Like, I would be buying that for the purples, and I've got the same kind of options right here. So that saved me about 50 something dollars, which I'm pretty happy about. And I'm sure the Sunrise palette quality wise is great if that's something that is on your radar and you're interested in buying. I know I definitely don't need it. Then we have the Melt Cosmetics Impulsive Palette, which retails for $65. I'm going to hard pass on this because it's just totally not my speed. I'm not into the packaging. I'm not into the fact that it's kind of got pans on both sides that kind of close in on each other. The color story to me is nothing that I'm like super into. It's got a bunch of like little trios in it of different colors. I think there are a lot of things you could do with that palette. I think it's a thing that a lot of people are going to enjoy. It's just not something that speaks to me. I am, however, really glad that Melt is at Sephora now. That is something that's really exciting. That was actually, I did a video, and I can link it for you guys in the description box. I did a video a while ago talking about brands I wish would come to Sephora and Ulta, and one of the brands on that list was Melt Cosmetics. I said I thought they would be a great fit for Sephora, and here they are. So at this point, if I ever was to buy anything from Melt, it's either going to be the Gemini palette or the Smoke Sessions palette, because I don't have an overabundance of green eyeshadows, and both of those look beautiful. So I know if I was going to buy Melt, it would be one of those two guys, but the Impulsive palette, not so much. Then there is the new ABH Alyssa Edwards palette. This guy retails for $45, pretty standard price point for ABH. This is a collab palette. Alyssa Edwards is a drag queen. I think it makes complete and total sense that ABH would collab with the drag queen, because so much of their aesthetic, like if you look at the PR search that they did, like they definitely gravitate towards the aesthetic of drag makeup and doing looks that are very colorful and detailed, cut creases and glitter and like all kinds of really cool stuff. So I feel like this collab makes a lot of sense. The colors are super bold and vibrant, definitely gives me like the drag vibes. So I think as like a concept and execution wise, it's totally awesome. I think a lot of people are going to love it. I don't think I need it. It's not a color story that I feel compelled by. It's not something that inspires me personally, because I'm not really into like the whole bold neon thing. But I think it's a pretty cool launch for summer. I think it definitely makes sense for ABH, and I have a feeling it's going to do very well. Then Dominique Cosmetics is launching another eyeshadow palette. This one's called Rustic Glam. It's kind of got more sort of muted, dirty jewel tone shades in there. This guy's also retailing for $44. And as per right now, I've never actually tried anything from Dominique Cosmetics, so I've absolutely no idea what the formulations are like. I've heard good things about Berries and Cream and about the Latte palette, which was the first one she came out with. I know a lot of people really enjoy the formula that she created. But honestly, like color story wise, none of those palettes have really intrigued me or called to me. The only one I ever considered buying was the Lemonade palette, but that was the one that received the most like mixed feedback. A lot of people felt that that one kind of fell flat, so I just never decided to like take the chance and buy it. So yeah, Rustic Glam, I don't know, it just doesn't really interest me. The color story, I'm not super into it. But if it's anything like the Latte palette or Berries and Cream, it'll probably do really well. And then finally, the last two products I want to talk about are from Milani Cosmetics. They are launching two new eyeshadow palettes. Both of them are in the same style as their like Bold Obsessions, their Pure Passion, like they're kind of still going on that 12 pan palette route that they have been for a while now. So these newest additions are going to be called the Gilded Rouge and the Gilded Noir palettes. So it appears that these palettes are launching tomorrow, June 11th. They're going to be available at the Milani Cosmetics website, and then they're going to eventually be available at Ulta, but they didn't give a date. First of all, the packaging on these looks stunning. It is so much more luxe and kind of glittery and special looking than just the plain gold packaging that they did for the first couple of palettes. And then the shades in these also look incredible. They're very jewel toned. One has kind of more of a warm vibe to it. The other one, I wouldn't necessarily call it cool, but it has more like blue-green tones in addition to some neutrals and warm tones, etc. Now, I don't think I need both of these palettes. I probably would gravitate more towards the one that has like the purpley tones because, of course, it's me. These two new palettes also contain like a glitter formulation, which y'all know I'm all about the shimmery, glittery eyelids. So these just look incredible, especially for something from the drugstore. Yes, $20 is expensive. It's kind of up there for drugstore, but I do feel like the quality of those Milani palettes is some of the best I've ever tried from a drugstore brand. All right, guys, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and chatting about all kinds of things new in beauty. Definitely let me know if you plan on picking any of these new product launches up, or if you've already picked them up, what do you think of them? Or are you, like me, planning on passing over the majority of this stuff? Again, if there are any products that I have that you want to learn more about, you want to see me use on camera, leave a comment, let me know. I always appreciate your feedback so much. And if you're new here to my channel, this is the first video you're watching and you want to see my face again, make sure you click that subscribe button so I'll show up in your feed and we can hang out again in the future. So on that note, I'm gonna finish my watery iced coffee. I'm gonna go edit this footage, but I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.